Hi there, Kathy again, and welcome to another video that explains the second of a three-pillar decision framework I've built after decades in the business to help you to stop being sold and actually make decisions that hold up over time. So, in my career, I have guided and assisted thousands of families, elders, including my own. I've written and published multiple books, spoken at various conferences and workshops, and now I run retreats for family caregivers as well as frontline professionals, people that get burnt out, drained out within all the chaos that's going on now. My goal here is to try to help you make decisions that have some sticking power. You know, I know how the games are played, and I know how to play the games. We're all in a time where the aging process now collides with economic reality. There are workforce shortages, and the systems today were never, ever, or the systems of yesterday were never, ever designed for the complexity that we all face today. Think about it. Do you believe that you will make a thoughtful, informed care decision when the time comes? Well, you won't. You'll be rushed, pressured, and you'll be moved through systems designed to prioritize speed, occupancy, and revenue. This is not your failure. It is not your family's failure. It is no one's failure. It's how the system operates. So my decision-making framework I take three what I consider high-risk areas: health, finance, and housing, and distill them into a simple process to slow down the rush and think through options. Remember, if you are not given options, you are not being guided, you're being directed. And if you don't understand that going in, you won't realize you're being led, and you'll think you're choosing. But the real issue here is you're not making a decision. You are entering a pathway. So when a health event happens, such as like a fall or a hospitalization, significant cognitive decline, you're suddenly pulled or pushed into what feels like a decision point. But most of the time it isn't. It's a default pathway. Hospital discharge teams move quickly. Referral partners present one option, usually their own, as the only option. Communities sell availability as solutions, and services are framed as complete answers when they're not. At the time it may sound helpful, some of it is, but much of it is financially driven. If you do not understand how the money flows, you will not understand why decisions unfold the way they do. Let me say that again. If you don't understand how money flows, you won't understand why decisions you make unfold the way they do. This is one of the most important areas, and please pay attention. I'm going to, when you're working with anyone, make sure they understand this. This helps you to shift from being sold to thinking clearly. You, your loved one, your family need to understand what you're actually choosing. I'm helping you see that every major aging decision, whether you realize it or not, comes down to getting these three realities right: health, finance, housing. So we looked at the health already, or there's another video available on health. Now we're going to take a look at finance capacity or financial risk. Most salespeople miss the financial truth that determines whether a plan of care survives or collapses. All too often families think that when the crisis is over, when they find a place, when they hire the help, they're okay. But the real crisis begins when the money cannot sustain the trajectory of care. This is a failure point. It slips in quietly, sometimes weeks, months, after everyone thought the problem was solved. So let's reframe this financial area as a foundation, one of the three, of any plan, any response, any recommendation, and expose why skipping this step leads to broken promises, premature move-outs, and family panic. So the question you need to ask is, what can be sustained? Not what can we afford today or now, not what does the entry fee look like, not what the brochure suggests. What can be sustained over the actual trajectory of decline? Do not focus only on the starting cost. Plan the trajectory costs, the costs of what's coming. So let's look at 5 financial realities here that determine whether or not a plan will hold. These are not about financial planning. Very different. This is about financial underwriting of a care plan over time. They're operational truths and determine whether a placement or a care plan presented to you has any viability. Number 1, what is the current cost structure? Do you know what you're actually paying for? Do you know what is the true monthly cost right now? What is included and what are add-ons? What triggers any fee increase or escalation in cost? If you do not understand the baseline, you cannot predict the scope or the slope. Number 2, the escalation curve, and it's here where most plans implode. Costs rise because more care hours are needed. There's increased supervision needed. Higher acuity, people get sicker or have more needs suddenly or over time. And then there's always the post-hospitalization, which definitely escalates needs. Most salespeople avoid this conversation because it feels negative, but avoiding it guarantees a future crisis. Number 3, your own income and assets. Here is where the math matters. Look at the monthly income versus the monthly burn rate, expenses. What are the liquid versus protected assets, and how long can the plan realistically last and underwrite based on trajectory? Do not overestimate how far your resources will stretch. Talk to someone who understands about burn rate across care plans. Number 4, insurance and coverage. This is where misinformation runs wild. Long-term care insurance really covers what people think it does. Medicare is short-term and condition-based. It does not pay for any long-term care. And medical expenses continue, and they're not baked into the overall care plan for long-term care. So what type of insurances do you or your loved one have? Know, underline here, that your state's Medicaid program requires spend down and comes with very strict limitations that are getting stricter all the time. Medicaid is getting direct hits as federal policy is now hitting hard at state budgets. Do not make decisions based on fantasy. Choose reality. It'll bite you later if you don't. Number 5, estate and legal plans. Financial sustainability really depends on a few things: your powers of attorney, your asset protection strategies, and who can act and how quickly. If the wrong person is in charge or the paperwork is missing, even a good plan collapses under pressure. So let's do a simple stress test here. A care plan is only as strong as its weakest financial assumption. So ask, what happens if care needs double? What happens if income drops? What happens if assets deplete faster than expected? What happens if a spouse also declines? Don't assume others will ask you these questions. If you want your plans to hold up, speak up. Remember, planning versus crisis operate in two financial worlds. In planning mode, you structure your resources, protect assets, extend sustainability, build a long-term strategy. In crisis mode, you're reacting. You're reacting to what's left, not what's ideal. Your options shrink, costs spike, you panic. You oftentimes listen to people that are selling solutions when they're not. If they're not considering your financial reality, slow down, think about it. Most care plans and processes don't fail at the start, they fail when the money runs out. This is the truth you need to hear, and the truth that separates a short-term fix from a sustainable plan.